Sally Field, born on November 6, 1946 in Pasadena, California, had a childhood marked by a stark contrast of two worlds. On one side, her mother, Margaret Field, was an actress working with Paramount Pictures, giving Sally a front-row seat to the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. On the other side, her father, Richard Dryden Field, was a strict Army officer who instilled discipline and structure into her life. This duality, the dazzling allure of show business and the stern orderliness of military life, formed Sally into a resilient and strong individual, capable of handling life's curveballs. Her parents' divorce when Sally was just 4 years old left a lasting emotional impact, one that would resonate through much of her life. But the pain didn't stop there. In 1952, her mother remarried Jock Mahoney, a stuntman and actor. Instead of providing the stability and happiness Sally had hoped for, Mahoney's presence brought even more darkness into her life. In her 2018 memoir, In Pieces, Sally courageously revealed the horrific truth about her teenage years. She was taken advantage of by Mahoney during her adolescence. This painful secret remained buried for decades, deeply affecting Sally's sense of self-worth and the way she viewed the world. It was a traumatic experience that would shape her future relationships and how she approached the world of entertainment. Despite the turmoil at home, Sally found an escape, one that would eventually define her life. She spent time on film sets with her mother, watching the magic of Hollywood come to life, sparking a passion for acting and storytelling. Acting became more than just an interest. It became her sanctuary, a way to express herself and escape from the pain of her personal life. While attending Portola Middle School and later Birmingham High School in Van Nuys, Sally honed her natural talent for performance, using it as a means to cope and transform her struggles into something creative and powerful. At 17, a seemingly simple event changed the course of Sally's life. After attending a high school party, a talent agent noticed her and suggested she audition for an acting workshop at Columbia Studios. That suggestion would prove to be the catalyst for everything that followed. Sally took part in the workshop, immersing herself in 8 weeks of rigorous training alongside other young talents. It was a challenging program, but it helped her grow as an actor and provided her with the tools to navigate Hollywood. Her breakthrough came when she caught the attention of casting director Marcia Levy, who was on the lookout for fresh faces for a new TV series. Sally's natural charm and emotional depth stood out, and soon, she landed her first major role in 1965. Sally's rise to stardom wasn't just about her talent. It was about her resilience, her ability to overcome deep personal struggles, and her unwavering commitment to making a name for herself in a notoriously difficult industry. From that point on, her career began to take off, setting the stage for her to become one of Hollywood's most beloved and respected actresses. However, the journey to success would also be fraught with unexpected challenges, both on and off screen. It was on the set of Smokey and the Bandit in 1977 where Sally Field would confront not only personal demons, but also shocking revelations about her co-star, Burt Reynolds, and the complex dynamics of their collaboration. And it was here, for the first time, that she would publicly speak about a secret that had haunted her for years. Sally Field's career took a dramatic turn when she was cast as the lead in Gidget, a TV show that followed the life of Frances Gidget Lawrence, a teenage surfer girl in Southern California. At just 18 years old, Sally triumphed over 75 other actresses to land the role. Her portrayal of Gidget was filled with infectious energy, making the character both relatable and lovable, especially to teenage audiences. The show premiered in September 1965, and though it was fun and fresh, it was short-lived, ending after just one season with the last episode airing in April 1966. Many thought this would be the end of Sally's career before it had really begun. But then, in an unexpected twist, reruns of Gidget became a hit during the summer, particularly with teen viewers. This unexpected success turned Sally into a star, proving she could truly connect with audiences on a deep level. Following the success of Gidget, ABC quickly sought another project for Sally. This led to her iconic role in The Flying Nun, which premiered on September 7, 1967. The show was quirky, casting Sally as Sister Portrayal, a young nun who could fly due to her lightweight body and the large cornet she wore. While the premise was unusual, Sally's portrayal of Sister Portrayal was full of charm and warmth, making the character one that audiences adored. The show ran for 3 seasons with 82 episodes and became a cultural hit. However, behind the scenes, Sally was struggling. She admitted that she hated working on The Flying Nun and felt trapped in the role. By the early 1970s, Sally was in her mid-20s and yearned to play more mature, complex characters, but Hollywood kept offering her the same sweet, innocent roles, which frustrated her deeply. In 1972, Sally decided to take a major risk by appearing topless in the film Stay Hungry. This bold move shocked her fans and many people in the industry. She hoped that the role would prove her ability to handle more serious, mature characters, but unfortunately, the film didn't have the desired impact. It wasn't widely released, and it didn't change the way Hollywood saw her. Feeling trapped in the same roles, Sally made an even bolder decision. For nearly 3 years, from 1973 to 1976, she refused all sitcom roles. This could have marked the end of her career, but Sally was determined to break free from her squeaky clean image. During this time, Sally took her career into her own hands. She joined the Actors Studio in Los Angeles, where she studied under the legendary teacher Lee Strasberg. She threw herself into her training, spending long days honing her craft and attending auditions. But the pressure was intense, and Sally found herself battling depression and an eating disorder. In her 2018 memoir, In Pieces, she revealed just how difficult this period was. The struggle to reinvent herself felt overwhelming at times, and there were moments when she considered giving up acting altogether. In a 1976 interview, she confessed, "I was ready to work as a waitress or do anything else. I just couldn't stand being trapped in that sugary sweet image forever." Despite the emotional and physical toll, Sally's determination finally began to pay off. One of the pivotal moments in her career came with her role in Stay Hungry, directed by Burt Reynolds. This film, a comedy drama centered on bodybuilding, marked a stark departure from her previous roles. Sally played Mary Tate, a gym receptionist, and her performance was a revelation. It showed that she could handle more complex adult material, and it opened the door for the career-defining roles that would follow. From this point on, Sally Field would prove that she was much more than just the girl from Gidget or The Flying Nun. She was a force to be reckoned with, ready to take on any challenge, whether it was tackling deep dramatic roles or pushing boundaries in ways few would dare. In Stay Hungry, 1976, Sally Field took a brave step that shocked audiences. She played Mary Tate, a character who falls for Craig Blake, a wealthy man portrayed by Jeff Bridges. The role was daring, especially with a scene that required her to appear partially nude. Field admitted she was terrified of taking the role due to the nudity, saying, "I had never done anything like that before, and I wasn't sure I could." To prepare, she went on a strict diet and exercise regimen, shedding 10 pounds to meet the physical demands. The film also marked the acting debut of Arnold Schwarzenegger, who played Joe Santo, a bodybuilder. Field later praised Schwarzenegger's dedication despite his inexperience. Though Stay Hungry wasn't a box office hit, earning just $5 million, the film gained a cult following over time. Critics, including Roger Ebert, lauded Field's performance, calling her portrayal touching and vulnerable. The film also earned Schwarzenegger a Golden Globe for New Star of the Year, marking the beginning of his iconic career. Later that same year, Sally Field would land her most career-defining role in the TV miniseries Sybil. Based on a true story, Sybil follows a woman with dissociative identity disorder, a result of severe childhood abuse. This role was incredibly challenging for Field, as she had to portray not one, but 13 distinct personalities, each with their own voice, mannerisms, and emotional depth. Field spent 6 months researching the disorder, working with a dialect coach, and observing psychiatric patients to prepare for the role. The filming was grueling, lasting 12 weeks with Field often working 16-hour days. In one emotionally intense scene, Field had to reenact a traumatic memory of Sybil being tied to a table. The scene was so physically demanding that Field dislocated her shoulder, but insisted on finishing the take. When Sybil aired on NBC in November 1976, it was a massive success. Over 92 million viewers watched the miniseries, nearly half the U.S. population at the time. Critics hailed Field's performance as groundbreaking, and she won her first Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actress. In her emotional acceptance speech, she said, "This means more to me than I can possibly say. It validates everything I've been working towards for the past decade." The success of Sybil catapulted Field from being seen as a lightweight TV actress to being recognized as a serious, talented performer. Reflecting on the breakthrough, Field said, "It was as if I had been invisible before, and suddenly people could see me." In 1977, Sally Field's career took another surprising turn when she was cast in Smokey and the Bandit. Before this, Field was known primarily for her roles in TV shows like Gidget and The Flying Nun, but action films were not a genre people typically associated with her. Burt Reynolds, already a big star, insisted she be cast for the role of the Bandit's love interest, despite the studio's initial reservations. The studio initially wanted a more glamorous actress, but Reynolds was adamant that Field was the perfect choice. Filming began on May 23, 1977, in Georgia. With a modest budget of just $4.3 million and the sweltering summer heat reaching 35 degrees Celsius, the car chase scenes were especially challenging. At 41, Burt Reynolds was at the peak of his career, and he took the role of Beau Bandit Darville with his characteristic charisma. The chemistry between him and Field was electric, and the film became a box office success, earning over $126 million. Smokey and the Bandit would be a massive turning point in Sally Field's career, proving that she could hold her own in the fast-paced world of action films, while still maintaining her warmth and charm. While Sally, at 30, was eager to leave behind her TV image and prove herself in film, the Smokey and the Bandit set offered a fun and playful vibe. Burt Reynolds, known for his love of practical jokes, brought levity to the intense production environment. The movie premiered on May 27, 1977, and became an unexpected hit, grossing over $126 million at the box office. The success of Smokey and the Bandit didn't just cement Sally's transition from TV to film, it also sparked the beginning of a personal relationship between her and Burt that would impact both their lives. From the moment they met, there was undeniable chemistry between the two. In her memoir, In Pieces, Sally recalled, "We had known each other about 3 days, 4 days at that point, but it felt like 4 years." Their immediate connection translated effortlessly to the screen, which helped make their on-screen relationship feel authentic and contributed to the film's success. What started as an on-screen attraction quickly blossomed into a real-life romance. Sally was drawn to Burt's charm and magnetic personality. Burt, 11 years older, was known for his rugged good looks and confidence, qualities that made him a Hollywood heartthrob. Off-set, they spent a lot of time together, and the rest of the cast could see the palpable chemistry between them. Jerry Reed, Burt's co-star, once remarked, "You could cut the tension with a knife. It was like watching two teenagers in love." However, despite the passion, their relationship wasn't without its difficulties. Early on, there were signs of tension. Burt, accustomed to being the center of attention, struggled with Sally's growing recognition. During one promotional event for the movie, fans asked for Sally's autograph more than his, which visibly upset Burt. Sally later described their relationship as both passionate and confusing. She admitted that while there was love, there were also significant issues, particularly Burt's controlling behavior. In her memoir, she wrote, "From the moment I walked through the door, it was a way to control me." Burt often tried to dictate Sally's career choices and personal decisions, causing friction between them. Despite the challenges, Sally's life took a pivotal turn when she starred in Norma Rae in 1979. The role wasn't originally meant for her. Big names like Jane Fonda were initially considered, but when Sally got the chance, she threw herself into it wholeheartedly. To prepare for the role, she spent weeks working in a real textile mill in Alabama to understand the lives of working-class women. On set, Sally was fearless, even performing her own stunts. Most notably, the famous scene where she stands on a table holding a union sign. That scene, filmed in a noisy, hot mill, required multiple takes, but Sally pushed herself until it was perfect. Norma Rae became a hit, grossing $22 million, a significant sum at the time. Critics were impressed by Sally's performance, praising how she portrayed her character as both tough and vulnerable. This role marked a major turning point in her career, showing the world that she could excel in deep, dramatic roles. In 1980, Sally won her first Oscar for Best Actress, and during her acceptance speech, she thanked the real-life woman her character was based on, as well as the film's director. The same year, Norma Rae was showcased at the Cannes Film Festival in France. Although excited, Sally was also nervous. She wasn't used to being surrounded by the industry's heavyweights, such as Francis Ford Coppola, who was at the festival with Apocalypse Now. Sally even found herself making some funny mistakes, like packing the wrong clothes for the chilly weather. She ended up wrapping herself in a hotel blanket to stay warm. When her movie played at the festival, she sat in the theater feeling terrified, knowing the importance of the moment and the expectations that came with it. But her performance had already proven to the world that she was more than just the sweet TV star they once knew. At first, there was silence. When the movie ended, Sally Field thought the audience hated it. But then, to her shock, they stood up and clapped for 10 minutes. Overwhelmed, Sally found herself in a surreal moment, filled with both disbelief and joy. A few days later, she won the Best Actress award at Cannes, a career-defining moment that proved her talent to the world. It was a huge triumph for Sally, showing that she was more than just the girl-next-door TV star. She had made it into the realm of serious film, solidifying her place in Hollywood history. While her career was soaring, her relationship with Burt Reynolds was beginning to crumble. They had been together since 1976, but as Sally's success grew, Burt's jealousy and resentment grew with it. Initially, he had been supportive of her career, but as she began winning awards and gaining more attention, he became distant. When Sally shared the exciting news that she was going to Cannes, Burt made a rude comment, saying she wouldn't win anything. His behavior deteriorated, and it wasn't long before his jealousy became impossible to ignore. Sally could feel the connection between them fading. Things took a darker turn just before the Oscars in 1980. Sally had been nominated for Best Actress for her role in Norma Rae, but Burt refused to accompany her to the ceremony. He publicly criticized Hollywood, claiming it didn't care about real acting, a sentiment that felt like a direct attack on Sally's achievements. Despite this, Sally didn't let Burt's negativity deter her. Her friends, David and Judy Steinberg, stepped in to make sure she had a good time. They picked her up in a limo, champagne in hand, and joined her on the red carpet. When reporters asked where Burt was, Sally smiled and explained that he had a prior commitment. That night, Sally won the Oscar. Her joy was evident as she stood on stage, thanking everyone who had helped bring Norma Rae to life. She didn't mention Burt in her acceptance speech, a silent yet powerful testament to how much their relationship had changed. Though they stayed together for a couple of years after, it was clear that the gap between them had grown too wide to bridge. Meanwhile, Sally Field's career hit another monumental milestone in 1984 when she won her second Oscar, this time for Places in the Heart. This was just 5 years after her first Oscar win, proving that she had solidified her place as one of Hollywood's best actresses. In Places in the Heart, Sally played Edna Spaulding, a widow in 1930s Texas, struggling to save her farm during the Great Depression. Initially, Sally didn't want the role, feeling it was too similar to her character in Norma Rae. However, the director, Robert Benton, wouldn't take no for an answer. He spent hours at her house convincing her to take the part. To prepare, Sally immersed herself in the lifestyle of rural Texas, learning how to pick cotton, milk cows, and even slaughter chickens. Her dedication paid off. Her performance was universally praised. Her Oscar acceptance speech became legendary, with Sally saying, "I can't deny the fact that you like me right now. You like me." People often misquote this as, "You like me? You really like me." But the moment captured Sally's feeling of triumph, responding to the critics who doubted her after her first Oscar win. It was a phrase that became iconic and is still remembered today. After Places in the Heart, Sally continued to show her versatility as an actress. She starred in Steel Magnolias, 1989, and Mrs. Doubtfire, 1993, two very different movies that highlighted her range. In Steel Magnolias, she portrayed Malin, a mother who grapples with the heartbreaking loss of her daughter. Her funeral scene in the film was so emotionally charged that it's considered one of her best moments on screen. Steel Magnolias became a hit, featuring a star-studded cast that included Dolly Parton and Julia Roberts, and it made a significant impact at the box office. Interestingly, Sally wasn't the first choice for the role. Meg Ryan and Deborah Winger were initially offered the part but turned it down, which opened the door for Sally to deliver one of her most memorable performances. In Mrs. Doubtfire, Sally teamed up with Robin Williams in a heartwarming comedy about a father who disguises himself as a nanny to spend more time with his children. Sally's portrayal of Miranda, the wife caught in the middle of a chaotic situation, was both funny and poignant, proving once again that she could seamlessly navigate both comedy and drama. With every role, Sally Field continued to cement her legacy as one of the most versatile and beloved actresses in Hollywood. Through the highs and lows, her commitment to her craft never wavered, and she continues to be remembered for her iconic performances, her resilience, and her courage in the face of personal challenges. Sally Field's career continued to evolve as she took on more mature and complex roles, showcasing her ability to embody a variety of characters with depth and nuance. In Mrs. Doubtfire, 1993, Sally took on the role of Miranda, the wife of a father who goes to great lengths to stay in touch with his children, even dressing as their nanny. Initially, Sally hesitated, worried that Robin Williams's comedic energy might overshadow her, but after the director promised her creative freedom to improvise, she agreed to join the project. One memorable moment on set was an accident. Sally stepped on Robin's fake nose, and it got stuck to her shoe, creating a hilarious, unscripted moment. Mrs. Doubtfire became a major hit, earning over $441 million at the box office. As Sally grew older, she continued to take on roles that showcased her versatility. In Forrest Gump, 1994, she played Mrs. Gump, the mother of Tom Hanks's character. Though she was only 10 years older than Hanks in real life, Sally's makeup and costume work made the role believable, and her performance earned her a nomination for a Screen Actors Guild Award. She proved once again that her talent transcended age, allowing her to bring emotional depth to every character she played. In 2000, Sally took on a more maternal role in Where the Heart Is alongside Natalie Portman. She became a mentor to Portman, sharing advice on handling fame and the spotlight. Sally continued to impress audiences, and in 2002 she shocked everyone by taking on Broadway in The Goat, or Who is Sylvia, a dark play with bold and shocking themes. Her performance earned critical acclaim, further proving her skill beyond just film and television. However, it was her return to TV in Brothers and Sisters, 2006, that marked another high point in her career. The role of Nora Walker, a widow navigating family dynamics and the discovery of her husband's infidelity, was initially played by Betty Buckley. When producers decided to recast the role, they turned to Sally Field, and it became one of her most beloved performances. The show ran for 5 seasons, allowing Sally to explore themes of grief, self-discovery, and growth. In 2007, she won an Emmy Award for her portrayal of Nora, and her victory felt especially meaningful as it marked 30 years since her last Emmy win for Sybil. Her acceptance speech became as iconic as her win, as she passionately spoke out against war, stating, "If the mothers ruled the world, there would be no goddamn wars in the first place." The network immediately cut off her speech after the word "goddamn," sparking a major debate about free speech and whether political statements should have a place at award shows. Despite the controversy, Sally remained unapologetic, and her speech further solidified her as a bold and unapologetic voice in Hollywood. In 2012, Sally Field's career reached another pinnacle when she played Mary Todd Lincoln in Lincoln, directed by Steven Spielberg. The role was a dream for Sally, but it didn't come easily. Spielberg had considered her for the role as early as 2005, but the film went through several changes before it came to fruition. To prepare for the part, Sally gained 25 pounds to more closely resemble the historical figure and spent countless hours studying Mary Todd's life. She also fought for the chance to audition for the role, performing a scene with Tommy Lee Jones. When Sally and Daniel Day-Lewis, who played Abraham Lincoln, met in character, their improvisation convinced Spielberg and Day-Lewis that she was the perfect choice for the role. In Lincoln, Sally Field delivered a compelling portrayal of Mary Todd Lincoln, highlighting her complexities and intelligence as the First Lady during a challenging era in American history. Her performance was richly layered, solidifying her status as one of Hollywood's most esteemed actresses. Field's career has evolved remarkably from a naive TV actress to an award-winning performer. Her role in Lincoln, 2012, showcased her talent as she captured the emotional turmoil of a grieving wife during the Civil War, yet despite critical acclaim, she missed out on major awards like the Academy Award and Golden Globe, though her work remained a career highlight. In 2023, Field was inducted into the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, honoring her contributions to the arts. Additionally, her candid remarks in a 2022 interview about Smokey and the Bandit surprised fans, as she described her on-screen kiss with Burt Reynolds as her worst experience, joking about its poor execution. Although uncertain about the film's script, Field's chemistry with Reynolds thrived through improvisation, leading to the movie's immense success, grossing $126 million and becoming a beloved classic of the 1970s. The relationship between Sally Field and Burt Reynolds, while appearing carefree and fun during the film's success, was deeply complex. In her memoir, In Pieces, Field described their connection as immediate and intense but troubled, largely due to Reynolds' struggles with drug abuse, including Percodan and Valium. Field's concern led her to arrange for him to visit a doctor, but he dismissed her worries. Their undeniable chemistry was often overshadowed by Reynolds' personal challenges. In a 2015 Vanity Fair interview, Reynolds expressed regret for how he treated Field, calling her the love of my life and lamenting their communication breakdown in the last 3 decades of his life. Field's personal story also includes 2 marriages. Her first, to Stephen Craig in 1968 at age 21, began with hopes for a promising future, but faced difficulties as he distanced himself from Hollywood. They raised 2 sons, Peter and Eli, who pursued successful careers in film. Despite their divorce in 1975, Field and Craig maintained a complicated yet connected relationship, reflecting the complexities of family life amidst personal struggles and triumphs. After her relationship with Burt Reynolds, Sally married film producer Alan Greisman in 1984, seeking stability. They welcomed a son, Samuel, in 1987, which brought Sally immense joy. Unfortunately, the couple divorced in 1994 after nearly a decade due to the pressures of their careers and family life. As a single mother, Sally focused on raising Samuel while balancing her acting career. Later, she became renowned for her activism, particularly in support of LGBTQ+ rights, especially after Samuel came out as gay at 19. Her dedication to equality was recognized when she received the Ally for Equity Award from the Human Rights Campaign in 2012, presented by Samuel himself. Beyond LGBTQ+ issues, Sally advocated for women's rights and against gender inequality in Hollywood, famously asserting in her 2007 Emmy speech that, "If mothers ruled the world, there would be no goddamn wars." Additionally, she became a vigorous advocate for the environment and healthcare reform, leading to her arrest in 2017 during a protest against healthcare rollbacks. Sally's journey highlights her resilience as both an actress and activist, using her platform to champion social justice.